Hey guys, in this session we're going to be looking at how to find a fraction of a particular quantity. So we're going to get started here. I've got a couple of examples here. So the first example is looking at 3/4 of 10. So one of the neat little things about finding fractions of a quantity is that just change that off into a multiplication. So in this case, you just rewrite this as 3/4 multiplied by 10. So when we're going to use our calculator, now you guys might have a different calculator. Or you might actually be using an iPad calculator, that's fine as well. So to put 3/4 in your calculator, you can just do 3 divided by 4, and then you can just do multiply by 10. So this should end up with 7.5 as your answer. Alternatively, in some of the calculators, you have a fraction button, which is this ABC button there. So you just click on 3, ABC 4, and you multiply that by 10, and you can see that you actually end up with 15/2. Which is still 7.5. So we got 3/4 times 10 is 7.5. That's one way of doing it. The other way of doing it is you could convert the 3/4 from a fraction into a decimal. And to do that, all you got to do is 3 divided by 4 first. So as you can see, 3 divided by 4 is 0.75. And we're going to multiply that by 10. And when we multiply that by 10, we end up with 7.5 again. So, as you guys can see, there's already two ways of doing this. Now there's another way you could do it, which is when you have a fraction multiplied with another number, what you can do is you could actually multiply the two numerators together and then divide by the denominator. So in this case, we are going to get 3 times 10/4, which is the same thing as saying 30 divided by 4. And if we go have a look at the calculator, we've got 30 divided by 4. That ends up again being 7.5. So it doesn't matter which method you guys actually pick, either or the other one, it all works out to be the same answer anyway. Now, when we do 2/3 of 17, with that one, it gets a little bit tricky. And the reason is because when we actually do 2/3 of 17, let me show you guys what we're going to get. So first step is writing it as 2/3 times 17. So when we do this, we're going to put, another good idea is with calculators is putting brackets. So you could actually put 2 divided by 3 in brackets, and then you multiply it by 17. So in this case, as you guys can see, the answer is 11.333 recurring. And you don't really want to keep on writing that. So what you can do is you can actually write it as 11.34 with 2 dp. Actually, that should be 11.33 because we can't actually round this one up anyway. Yeah, so we leave that as 11.33. And of course, just kind of writing it down that it's 2 decimal places. That's also another good little idea. So if you think about converting 2/3 as a fraction, I guess this is why, to a decimal. In this case, when we do 2 divided by 3, we end up with 0.66667. So, and if we do round that up, so if we round it up, we're going to get 0.67. And if you multiply that by 17, what happens is your answer ends up being 11.39. But then the original answer was actually 11.33. So this is what we call a rounding error, or like early rounding, which can actually lead to rounding error later on. So it's always a good idea to just leave things as a fraction. That always helps you get to the most accurate answer as possible. All right. So what's the other way of doing this? We could do the numerator way. So we could actually go 2/3 times 17. We take the two numerators and we multiply them together. So in this case, we're going to get 2 times 17/3, which is 34 divided by 3. And what you'll notice is when we do it 34 divided by 3 on the calculator, it ends up being that same answer that we got in the first case, which was 11.33. Okay, so should we do one more question? No, I think that's basically it. No, I think you guys should be all right from this point onwards. We're just doing some basics of fractions of a quantity. Cool. So that's basically it for this short little video, guys. As always, thank you for watching.